What's up, y'all? It's the Macism. It is going on 11 p.m. here in Cali. And tonight... Oh, crap. Make sure to check my freaking stuff is up on live streams. Tonight I'm just going to play some DOA Xtreme 3. Oh, come on. And because YouTube Shorts on my phone is I don't know, ever since they implemented YouTube Shorts, it takes up so much memory off this phone that it just slows my phone down to the point that barely any of my apps work, and I always have to go into my settings and clear out my memory or refresh my memory. Ever since YouTube Shorts came along, it just messed up. Takes so much memory off your phone. It's like you check your phone, it's taking up 500 megabytes just to run YouTube, which is ridiculous. But that's not what I want to rant about. I just want to rant about something stupid, something trivial that just happened like the last couple of days that just kind of makes me chuckle. But it just shows one of the reasons why I'm so antisocial when it comes to online gaming. My experience with online gaming is I've been a part of it since its, I guess you could say, its mass appeal infancy. I wasn't a part of it during the golden age where, you know, the mid 90s, where people knew about the internet and web addresses and online, you know, BBS boards and stuff like that. Now, I don't go back that far. It's like we didn't get online until what, around 96, 97, 98, AOL. Oh, those are the good old days where a file, like a 56 megabyte file, would take you like 3 hours to download. Gaming, first experience was on the Sega Dreamcast, so that was around 2000. And I've been online gaming ever since, so that's roughly 23 years of online gaming. You know, been there, you know, since that was like, even though the Sega Saturn was probably one of the first few mass consoles released here with online functionality. They did have NetLink with the Sega Saturn, but the Sega Saturn epically failed here in terms of sales here in the States. But Dreamcast, you know, playing NFL 2K, you know, and stuff like that, and especially Phantasy Star Online. The only reason you played online was for Phantasy Star Online and to play NFL 2K, because they didn't have any fighting games here in the States that you can play online. I know in Japan you could play, I think, Street Fighter Alpha 3, and I think S7K vs Capcom 2 and stuff like that. But outside of that, yeah. But yeah, long story short, I have one person on my friends list on PSN. Well, they're no longer my friends list, but I'll tell you why. So this person, for like the past few months, I guess they built up a pretty sizable following, streaming Madden, streaming War of Tanks, streaming The Sims. And so it would show up in my PSN newsfeed. So, you know, they're on my friends list and stuff like that. So I would share. Well, I would, you know, click a like on some of the content that they're doing or whatever. I really, you know, it's hard not to keep up with it because it comes in my newsfeed like every single day. And then every other day, this person would tag me in stuff they would, in their content that show up on the PSN newsfeed on the PS4 and PS5. And so it didn't really bother me, you know, whatever. You know, I think the only thing that bothered me about is that all this person's friends, I would get an alert, like, especially right after they post something, like every 2 to 5 minutes, somebody liking, like, content I was tagged in. Something that I even haven't seen yet, I got tagged in. And I'm like, what kind of content is person, person tag me in? It's the only way, I'll figure to see to get a look at it. But, what irked me recently was, I did a couple of, if you follow my channel, I've been posting, some highlight reel videos of some of my created wrestlers from, my Sexy Libre, storyline with 2K23. And so, I started, I said, since everybody's tagging people in their content, let me give it a shot. I've been posting some, photos of my ever, and people have been kind of liking it. So I figured, okay, let me just broaden my umbrella. Me tag people on my friends list and stuff like that. So I tagged 70% of my friends who I think will be interested in my content, who I know are really cool with me, who I know who are cool. Other people on my friends list I don't even know personally. I don't even know in terms of us as being as far as acquaintances, let alone being friends. But yet they're on my friends list on PSN. And so I sent a tag of just a GIF of one of my highlight reel videos for Jin the Body Chan that I posted up on my YouTube channel. Check it out. I got the music from Nerd Lap Dance, which was like an early 2000s, late 90s classic. So I just have her, the first part of her entrance of her doing Nikki Bella's entrance, where she, she does a little sexy spin, gyrating her hips. And so this person who has been tagging me in their content for like the past few months, they sent me a comment on it talking about basically do not tag me with that type of content. Don't tag me in that type of content. And it's like, if you want to tag me in certain content, check out my channel of what type of stuff I'm playing. They be like, I don't want to be associated with that type of content. And I'm like thinking, it's just like, and they even put it in caps, like they were just hella offended by what I tagged them. It was probably the most PG GIF ever. It's like, if you find offended, if you get offended off a chick on wrestling gear doing a little turn, kind of gyrating your hips a little bit, then you are the biggest snowflake or moral oral on the planet. Now, granted, this person, like I said, they play Madden, they play War of Tanks, they play Sims 4. And I don't know if they're a female gamer or a male gamer, but they say they are an older gamer. So you never know with people. You don't know if they're male or female. By this person's reactions, they're either, one person who is moral oralish male, or they're a female and they just legitimately got offended. Whatever. By, seeing a physically attractive 3D polygonal woman who is relatively clothed during a little spin with fireworks going around her got them offended. And so the way they worded it hit a nerve too. I just up and just deleted them off my friends list. It's like, wait a minute, you've been tagging me in all your shit for the past few, like 3 to 5 months, to the point I have to deal with random alerts every 5 to 10 minutes of people liking content that I'm tagged in. It's basically filling up my notifications. I have to delete my notifications like every day. Otherwise, PlayStation won't upload my saves to the cloud. It would say like a media error, it can't upload to the cloud. That's because when you get your notifications and everything filled up, then it won't upload shit. It won't upload and it won't download shit. So I have to do that, every time I log on, because this person keep tagging me in the shit. And so they've been tagging me in the shit, and then they don't want to be tagged in the shit. And it's like, okay. I was like, instant delete. It's like, and then after I deleted them, I was still getting like people liking their content. I'm still getting tagged in their shit. So I'm like, wait a minute, even if I take them off my friends list, am I still on their friends list? And I'm like, oh, that sucks. So I had to not only unfriend them, I had to block them in order to stop being tagged in their shit. And it's like, you know, that's kind of overkill, but if it means I'm not going to be tagged in their shit anymore, then so be it. Because it's like, wait a minute, you don't want me tagging me in your shit? I mean, in my shit, but yet you want to tag me in your shit. It's like, motherfucker, fuck you. You know? And then to make matters worse, I think that same day, I posted the video on Instagram, and I noticed my Instagram follower numbers drop in real time. Like right after I posted it, I had 2 people like unfollow me. And then when I looked on the next day, I had like another like 3 or 4 people unfollow me on real time. And then right after that, shoot, Instagram worldwide shut down, which is the weirdest thing ever. Because I posted a post with a chick in a wheelchair saying I cannot effing stand you Negroes. And I thought, oh, fucking, that probably like pissed off somebody and they reported my post. Oh my god, I'm playing like shit because I'm too busy talking. And oh, I was in the right spot, that's why. And so people were like unfriending me. I was like up to like almost 470, 474. And it's like I noticed after I went to this convention, I started getting all these new followers or whatever and stuff because I was selling my art and people were checking, you know, if I had an Instagram or social media. And then I put up that little, you know, thing with the lap dance song. Now I know the lap dance song is unedited. There's some curse words. There's some suggestive themes. You know, because I got video as far as the entrance theme and stuff like that. Even though she's still in the game, you know, the highlight reels of her kicking up like you just got through watching porn or whatever. And so that annoyed me. So it's like, okay, what the fuck, man? It's like, I admit, I'm a perv. I do some pervy stuff. And I know it's just me, and I can't apply my taste to everybody else. But compared to people who are true perverts, I mean, pervert, where they don't have no moral boundaries to their perversity. I'm talking people who have no qualms about, you know, posting straight up nudity, porn, or whatever. I'm tame compared to those people. I am very tame. It's like I'll go as far as PG-13, and if I am doing nudity, it's tasteful nudity to where they're not doing anything, you know, sexual or pornographic. They'll just be naked or topless. And so it just proves I'm just a hard luck guy. I seem to just attract a lot of weirdos on opposite extremes of the spectrum. I attract weirdos who are so perverted that they scare me. But you know, that's fine. It's like, hey, that is your kink, that is your kink. That you do you, bro. And then I'm cool with people who are basically anti anything sexualization. You know, they don't want anything remotely sexy. They find anything remotely sexy. Like a woman with a D cup just showing some cleavage, they get all caught up in their feelings. You know, that extreme. And it's like, those people annoy me to no end. It's like, now the extreme pervs don't make me cringe once in a while, but you know, it is what it is. I'm not gonna hold it against them. It's like some of the stuff they're into are cringy, but I'm not gonna, you know, hold it against them and crucify them for it. 'Cause like I said, I have some extreme kinks myself. I just keep a lot of my extreme kinks to myself and don't put it out publicly, even though some of my friends say, dude, if you posted some of your really freaky shit, you would make a killing. I said, I probably would. But, Yeah, but moral oral people, they've been on my shit list ever since I got into the art game. It's just weird. I'm the most tame, sexy artist that I know. I'm the most tame and sexiest artist that I know. It's like most of my other art buddies, they either have no traumas of drawing nudes, posting it on social media, drawing kink, making a shit ton of money drawing various kinks. And I'm the only one, you know, that seems to get blasted for just drawing like fan art with women over like D-cups breasts and stuff like that. But they don't get me hate. You know, if they do, you don't see it posted often or whatever. And plus, you know, they're not trying to post their shit among normies and major art groups either. So I give them that too. They know where they can post their kinks and not catch much shit. Me, I haven't learned that lesson, I guess. Because when I do get into extreme kink groups, my stuff is not on their kink level and my skills is not as good. Some of the artists in these very, you know, extreme sex kink groups. So my work tends to get ignored. It get ignored in extreme kinks groups. It do. It's like my art would be perfectly fine and normal and socially acceptable in the late 80s to like early 2000s. But now it's like it's just bad. It's just, granted, sales wise it does okay. It does okay. My buddy hooked me with a table at a convention earlier this month, sharing his spot with him. Granted, with the money I made just selling prints, I would have barely covered the table. But like I said, most of the money I made was selling comic books and some anime DVDs that I had in the house. It was like I made over 100 selling the comic books and the DVDs. As far as print sales, I probably would not have covered the table. Hey, well, Luigi ain't doing shit. And so, Stockton Comp's coming up. Stockton Con is going to be July 8th and 9th this year. Usually the con is like in August, like either mid-August or right before September. So this is like real early for Stockton Con. And it's like, Buddy called me up and he's like, hey, are you going to do any new art? And I'm like, you want me to do new art this year? It's like, we made triple the table last year and I didn't do no new art. I didn't do no. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta stop sending her to the net because they're just attacking on that side and getting freebies. You stay there. You stay there, Marie. Because I can't cover this whole back line. Get back. You are a horrible blocker because you're short. Yeah, you stay here. We gotta play defense because they're just killing our weaknesses right now. There we go. And so I think I'm just gonna ink these pieces I did, I believe early, well no, close to like summer of last year. I got some pieces that I just need to ink and they'll be perfectly fine. There we go, put her in a position. Oh, there we go. Up in the block. Oh, good spike. And so I don't know if I'm gonna do anything new. I'm just gonna ink some stuff that was pretty old, but it hasn't been inked yet. But I think if they sell great, if not, then oh well. But like I said, I don't know. I trust the colorists, and I noticed like last year I really hustled in terms of selling the prints, and we made triple that table. Walked out with like $600 in sales, and for us, that is pretty for a 2-day event. That's pretty damn good. That's That's fucking epic. $600 at a 2-day event? That's good. Granted, I'm sure there's some retailers and artists who make that normally and probably make more. But for the scale that we produce stuff, that's pretty huge. Oh my god, I need to get in better position. Oh, we lost. Well, they were on hard anyway. We only got one heart. We're not. Oh, they got full freaking whatever. Full compatibility. What they say? Yane get the jet black bikini with the Yane, so I gotta buy a bikini. Shit. But yeah. I also gotta finish up some of these commissions. I got 9 more for this one client I gotta do. And then I got the ones, I think I got a total of 11 more I gotta complete on Facebook. And then I think I got maybe 4 or 5 more that I gotta complete on DeviantArt. I need to go on DeviantArt and let people know I'm still alive. But yeah, so that's one rant, you know, dealing with just weirdos on PSN. I hate to call them that, but it's just like, really, man? You will send me that shit? I also had another person send me stuff that they didn't want to get tagged in either. At least he was polite about it. But, you know, I still didn't add them to my friends list. You know, I took them off my friends list because it's like, okay, I get it. You don't want me sending you stuff. Okay, that's fine. But it's like, if I add you to my friends list, you know, I'm thinking it's cool and all good, but I guess not, you know, because I hate adding people, taking up a friend spot if the people are not really your friends. It's like, why you got these people on your list? Just to boost your follower numbers? It's like, if they don't serve no purpose other than that, then it doesn't, in my mind, I don't really care. They don't serve a purpose. It's like, why are they here? You know, don't really need them. You know, I'm just saying, they don't matter. It's like they don't have no personal connection to me. They don't like or follow my content. So why should they be on my friends list? So, you know, that's just the way I am. But yeah, that's one rant. The other rant I want to get to concerns fighting games. I was thinking about playing a fighting game to cover this rant, but I'm like, fuck it. I just want to see some anime titties. So I'll put up this game. Let's put her in a swimsuit. Yeah, let's do that. Put her in a different swimsuit. Have I put her in this one yet? I know she likes it. Put her in that one. Can I change her hair? Wear bandana. Well, she's already wearing a bandana. But yeah. I think another rant I want to talk about, it's not really a rant. It's just more about me thinking of stuff, especially with Street Fighter 6 coming out pretty soon. I've been seeing a lot of posts from fighting game, well, people in the FGC, and, you know, YouTubers I follow who play fighting games who are under the age of 30, you know, basically talking about, could this be the best era for fighting games? And my answer is like, no, motherfucker. No, it's not. You only got, what? You got Street Fighter 6. I think you're going to have Mortal Kombat. And then Tekken's coming out next year. Maybe they were kids in the 90s and they weren't into fighting games like some of the people I follow. They didn't get into fighting games until like the early aughts of the 2000s. Well, not even. Yeah, well, some really didn't get the FGC itch until 2010. Around 2010-ish. And, you know, that's pretty much when we had a fighting game revolution. You know, with the release of Street Fighter 4. That opened the floodgates for fighting games once again. But you got these fuckers talking about this is the best era of fighting games. It's like, no, motherfucker. And I'll tell you why. Back in the 90s, after Street Fighter 2 came out, we had 10 to 20 fighting games released a year. A year. Now, granted, a good chunk of these were in Japan, but we had some that made it to shores, and a lot of the major fighting games franchises didn't start until the 90s. Street Fighter 2 came out in 1992. Mortal Kombat didn't come out until like the early 90s. Tekken didn't come out to the mid to late, to around 95. Yeah, the Street Fighter Alpha games, the Marvel vs. games, all came out in the 90s. The Capcom versus whatever, I believe that came out like 1999 or 2000 on the Dreamcast. It's like we had bangers every year for a decade in the 90s. We had bangers every single year. Especially if you owned a Sega Saturn and if you lived in a place where you could import Japanese games. It's like I had Marvel, I had X-Men vs. Street Fighter, I had the Marvel vs. Capcom games, I had all the King of Fighter games like 95 to like 97. I had all that shit. Marvel Superheroes, I had all that shit while people were getting the crappy versions on the PS1. I had the really good versions on the Sega Saturn due to the RAM carts and the converter carts. I was playing those games before they reached the PS2 and the PS1, and they were really good ports. Not only that, it's like you also had games that never made it to the shores. Like I said, I had an import Japanese store to get my games from. So it's like I would get like some of the hidden gems. Like, ooh, there were so many weird 2D 3D fighting games that came out Japan that never made it here, that the only way you could get them was from importing them. They were bangers every year. I've been collecting fighting games and playing them for over 30 years. And so, no, the best era for fighting games, if you're a player, collector, and just a lover of fighting games, was the 90s. No, it's not now. It's like, no, with Street Fighter V changed the game. You're going to get that Street Fighter 6, you're going to be playing that for the next 5 to 7 years. You're not going to see another Street Fighter game for 5 to 7 years. The same is going to apply to Tekken. You're not going to see another Tekken game for 5 to 7 years. The same is going to apply to Mortal Kombat. You might not see another Mortal Kombat game for like 3 to 4 years. Because fighting games are now gaming as a service. You will get new characters, new stages, and all this stuff for the next fucking 5 to 7 years. I think the only like video game company who almost puts out a fighting game every year is Arc System Works, the people who released Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue, and that Dungeon Fighter game, and the Grand Blue Fantasy Versus game. They're the only fighting game studio has been releasing a fighting game every year. So yeah, nah, this is not a good time to be a fighting game like fan or collector. Now, if you are a person, if you're an FGC mark and you want to play in the offline tournament scene, or if you strictly play the game offline as a player and hope to make a name either doing content or make money as a player in the FGC, yes, I will say it is a good time because the prize pools for fighting games are going to be insane. But the problem with that is you're going to be competing with so many people now. It's like, I feel it's kind of a good thing because I think one good thing and one bad thing concerning esports is there is no definitive, I guess, standard of terms of entry. It's like if you're good and if you can hold your own, then you could probably, you know, get out of your locals and attend Evo, but you're still going to get your ass dusted in pools. And it's like once in a while we'll get one person have a really good Evo and do some dank combos and shit and make some noise and get 15 minutes of fame, but they're not going to top 8 enough to get paid. They may get a sponsorship, That's to say if the FGC doesn't fucking cancel Panda Global and other places over some bullshit. And so, I feel fighting games are entering the corporate era. It's going to be a corporate era for fighting games. Well, everything is like the whole grassroots thing of the FGC will kind of still exist, but that's going to be like the Chitlin circuit. That's going to be the Chitlin circuit, and you know, outside of like a few major tournaments, like locals is the Chitlin circuits. It's like there will probably be only like 4 or 5 member tournaments where it's like if you win there, then you'll be like really, really good. But outside of that, it's just the Chitlin circuit. You know, you're still an amateur. Like I said, we don't have an amateur thing going on. It's like you're either pro or you're either a pro, online warrior, a scrub, or you're just a beginner. You know, you play, or you're just a filthy casual. Yeah, okay, no, filthy casual, then beginner. But the funny thing is about the easy accessibility of with fighting games these days, especially with Tekken and stuff like that, where it's like they give you all this stuff, you know, gameplay mechanics that make the game easier for you to get in and push buttons. You got modern controls in Street Fighter 6 where you can push one button special moves and, you know, shit like that. Everybody's gonna think they're a pro. Now granted, I think modern controls and stuff will be kind of banned in major tournaments, but as far as the online realm, it's going to be a clusterfuck of wannabe high level players. And that's the truth. There's gonna be a wannabe clusterfuck of high level players in the FGC for the next probably 7 to 10 years. Oh my god, Momiji, that outfit. That swimsuit. Got the tan lines and everything. But yeah. I think you're going to see a lot more competitiveness in the FGC. You're going to see a lot more pop-offs because the money is real. Well, back in the day, people just played for clout and for pride. It was clout and pride. It was like I was watching that Street Fighter 4 documentary called All Got Next like a week ago. And the FGC during that era was a revolution. It made the FGC relevant, you know, in terms of, you know, as far as corporate, you know, advertisers and having a presence as far as esports. That's what Street Fighter 4 did. It also got, you know, fighting game developers to make more fighting games. And but now we're going to enter the corporate era. You're looking at $1 million pots. Oh yeah, it's going to be real. It's like I think we're going to get back to we're going to have major pop-offs because you playing for big money. Now it's not going to be as good at pop-offs when it's all about East versus West. You know, that type of beef. You know, during the 2010s, where it's all about territory and bragging rights. Shit, now it's about the money. If you don't believe me about the money, look what happened to Arturo Sanchez, Sabin, where basically they tried to cancel him because they thought he was stealing the money from prize pools. They tried to cancel this man. It's like, granted, he mishandled the money, but he did not steal it. He paid it all off. He gave all that money back. He mismanaged it, but it wasn't enough to cancel it. Yeah, they should have fired him. He mismanaged the money. But as far as people in the FGC trying to cancel him? Nah, that was dirty. Arturo Sanchez been down for the FGC. He's been running tournaments without even paying himself. And then when he did decide to pay himself, people were telling he was stealing money. Some people thought he had a crack addiction and all kind of other shit, trying to frame him for stealing money when he didn't steal the money. He mishandled it, but the money was all there. And plus there was some issues with Matcherino's website and other shit that was on Matcherino's. Oh crap, I just fucked that up. On Matcherino's end, but they just put him on blast and try to cancel him out of tournaments, costing him his livelihood and all kind of shit. So yeah, when there's money involved, like big money, shit get real. You have no friends when it comes to money. Perfect example of money being the root of all evil. If you watch my previous, before this one, Dead or Alive Xtreme video, when I talked about a mini issue between me and a family member, oh yeah, when it comes to money, yeah, shit gets real. And you looking at $1 million prize pools? Oh my god, that was stupid. Fuck that up. But so yeah, it's gonna be heated. I think a lot of the old heads are gonna be kind of salty, but I've been watching some of the Street Fighter 6 beta matches. Even though they put all these accessibility controls, I'm watching the pro players play the game, and it's like, dude, right before the game comes out, you're gonna get your face beat in, especially for people who got the beta early. Yeah, oh my god, it's just mean. It's not gonna be fair, because these fuckers had the game for like the past 6 months playing it, and then the people at the beta keys, you know, they're already mastering kind of like the more high level mechanics and shit. So it's like, man, you are just, why did I do that? I keep on forgetting this is an Asian game. If you push circle, it doesn't exit you out. It actually selects shit. Okay, oh my god, how do I do this? X. Triangle. L1. R1. Holy, are you fucking kidding me? Well, at least they made it easy when I try to get up here. Oh, are you going to do this to me? But yeah, for real, on day one, most of us are going to get our face beat in. If you didn't get the beta, you're just going to get your face beat in. It's not going to be fun online. I'm just going to, it's like I'm buying the game just for the offline content, the World Tour mode. It's like the roster to me, it's alright. Don't really care about the roster too much. But the World Tour mode is what I'm sold on with Street Fighter 6. Don't really care about the arcade mode. Don't care about the actual game of Street Fighter 6 as a whole. Oh wow, I got an achievement. Haven't got an achievement in this game in forever. And so, yeah, it's not going to be fun playing Street Fighter 6 online. I think even my buddy Sandra, when her fiance had the key, he was trying to play the game online, and he was getting his ass beat in if he tried to play ranked. But if you like just use your online avatar and go to the lobbies and sit in front of a cabinet, that's the best way to play the game without getting overly salty and worrying about rank too much. They put enough stuff in the game to where filthy casuals like myself don't even have to care about the competitive aspects too much, unless you're like really bored, or if you're really hard up to get your face beat in or try to prove yourself. You know, there's always that content there for you. Alright, let's open this up. Did I get a swimsuit? Oh, why is he giving me shit that she don't even like? She don't even like this shit, man. Look, she's indifferent. I need to buy her ass some more swimsuits. I think I only got like 3 days left in this vacation. And I got all this money. The money is capped. And most of these swimsuits are like fucking expensive as hell. And the funny thing is Team Ninja is still supporting this game, but they gave up on Dead or Alive 6. Team Ninja is still producing content for this effing game. So that ought to tell you how big of a flop Dead or Alive 6 was. As a game, I enjoy Dead or Alive 6. It's a pretty decent Dead or Alive game. I like it better than Dead or Alive 5. Speaking of Dead or Alive, the community is kind of butthurt that the FGC is all hyped with Street Fighter 6 coming out, and then the new Mortal Kombat announcement, and then with Tekken 8 on the horizon. And so Dead or Alive 6 is like, oh, we're going to have a new game. And I'm like, don't worry about it. It'll happen when it happens. But Mac, weren't you like the biggest DOA cheerleader back in the day? I was like, yes, up until Dead or Alive 5 came out and we got all these fucking Gen Z millennials that took over the community. You had all these people coming into the community who didn't like the anime titties and the jiggle physics. They tried to get rid of it, tried to ban it. You got hardcore players shitting on the sexy aspect of DOA. And I'm like, okay, these fuckers are not DOA fans. It's like, granted, if you just like the game for the gameplay, fine. But if you're a fan of DOA, you need to realize the real reason why this game became relevant and became popular. Because of anime titties and jiggle physics. That's what made the series sell millions of games. Let's be real, people. Let's be real. Okay, is this the black swimsuit he's talking about? I hope so, because I'm gonna buy it. Buy this? No, I don't want to gift wrap it. Just want to buy it. Dang, 300,000? Swimsuits are no joke. Ooh, that's a nice one. There's that one. This one was also in Dead or Alive Xtreme 2. Yep, I got that game too. Ooh, this one got some underboob. Underboob. I'll get this one. No, I won't get wrap that one. Alright, picked up a couple of swimsuits. But yeah, I'm at the point where I'm perfectly fine if Dead or Alive stays dead. But knowing Team Ninja and Tecmo, they're like, nah, that's one of our biggest money makers. They're gonna do another Dead or Alive game. They are. It's a given. It's gonna happen. It is what it is. I did equip it. There we go. And they're even talking about doing rebooting the series. And I'm like, oh, that's real risky right there, because if they try to modernize it, it's going to suck. It's going to epically fail if they try to modernize Dead or Alive. It's like, granted, you're going to have those people who be like, oh, you know, I like it, but nah, modernization and DOA do not go hand in hand. Because I think even Tekken 8, when that drop, I don't think it's going to sell as many copies as Tekken 7. It's not, because there's not too many people who own a PS5 or an Xbox Series X at this point. PS4 still has a larger install base. So, but like I said, these games are as a service. They're going to make their money over time. And that's why, oh crap, that cost $1 million for that hair? Motherfucker. Oh, I just got to play some more volleyball. And so, since they're gaming as a service, you're going to make the money over time, because Street Fighter V flopped at launch. It flopped. It was like, I think after the number came out, after their fiscal year, they only sold, I think, around two something million copies, and I think it was like a PS4 exclusive, which isn't bad, you know, if it's exclusive to one console, if you sell over 1 million copies. But with Street Fighter, you're expecting to sell between 5 to 10 million copies. You know, there's that expectation. Granted, they made their money over time because people had to buy all that DLC for Street Fighter V, unless you play the game for like thousands of hours to unlock all that shit for free. But even then, you still gotta pay for certain costumes and shit. But yeah, as far as, oh my god, that was just an epic fail. Yeah, she's gonna laugh. But man, yeah, like I said, right now, it's the corporate era. And it's like, another thing that I find funny is that all the Japanese fighting game companies, they're collaborating with each other. Because one thing you realize, like during COVID, they would have all these town hall meetings where all the game developers from various companies would be live streaming and talk about all their projects together, talking about fighting game development, and it's like, wait, they're no longer competing with each other, they're collaborating. They're even like scheduling the release of their games around each other's release windows. So yeah, man, there is no competition between these developers no more. They're all collaborating. They're collaborating with each other to, I guess, maximize profitability among each other. But I think in the end, all that corroborating is not going to matter because Capcom and Namco is going to make the most money. I think the only people who didn't make these little town hall meetings was NetherRealm, because they're an American company. The people who make Mortal Kombat and Injustice, they're the only ones who didn't go to these town meetings. But all the Japanese companies, nah, they're corroborating with each other. Damn, Lei Fang, you didn't hit that hard in Dead or Alive 1. She just spiked the shit out of them all. I missed the game where they all had individual traits and how the power... Oh my god, Lei Fang. Okay, well then you get the ball in. But yeah, there is no competition as far as the companies in the fighting game, you know, development. As far as the people who develop the games, there's no more competition among them. It's just that, you know, if a big company like Tecmo is releasing a game, then Axe System Works is not going to release their game around the same time, and stuff like that. They're avoiding conflicting with each other as far as to maximize profits of their games. God damn, what is wrong with you, Ayane? There we go. To be honest, I need a different partner. Her ass is too short. Too short! She can't block. She's a shitty blocker. Oh shit. Oh, she didn't spike that? Oh my god, I meant to go to the other side of the court. Oh, that was an epic fail. Ah. Beep. Barely won that game. Alright, now I can buy more hair. But yeah, man, it's like... And then it kind of makes sense because you had all these guest characters. You had fucking like... What was it? Terry Bogard and fucking Smash. You had Akuma and Tekken. You know, you had all these, you know, guest characters from other fighting games and fighting games. It's all Soul Calibur's fault with Soul Calibur 2. When they had Spawn, Heihachi, and Link. Well, you can't really consider Heihachi a guest character because he was from Tekken, and Namco makes Tekken and Soul Calibur. Then what was it? Soul Calibur 3? Who's the guest character in that game? Shit. I don't think they had any guest characters in there. They had a shit ton of characters though in Soul Calibur 3. But they did have Star Wars characters, Yoda, Darth Vader, and Star Killers in Soul Calibur 4. Soul Calibur 5, I think they had what's his name from Assassin's Creed as a guest character. Dead or Alive 4, their first guest character was Halo Spartan. Was a Spartan from Halo, because Halo 2 was huge. And there was a guest character in Dead or Alive 4. Dead or Alive 5 had the Virtual Fighter characters. They had Pi, Jackie, Akira, and Sarah as guest characters. That's why that game played so much like Virtual Fighter 5. Like Virtual Fighter, it did not play. It played like an ass backwards Dead or Alive game. It played like DOA 5 played like Virtual Fighter with counter holds. That's what Dead or Alive 5 played like, which frustrated the hell out of me. Alright, I think we'll go with Pigtail Ayane. Let's get little Pigtail Ayane. But yeah, so guest characters became normal. Shit. What were some other notable guest characters? Dead or Alive 6? Well, yeah, Dead or Alive 5 also had Mai Shiranui from King of Fighters. Yeah, it's DLC. It had Kula, I think in Dead or Alive 6, she's from King of Fighters, along with Mai Shiranui were guest characters in Dead or Alive 6. What was it? Dang, what SNK do? I forgot what game it was. They had like some guest characters, but I forgot what they were. But I think they were from other SNK games though. But yeah, so you got companies collaborating with each other. So Japanese companies are all kumbaya. But here in the States, as far as fighting games, it's going to be all about the money. It's going to be all about making that money. You're going to see a lot more players getting to the offline scene and even play online, just do online tournaments. When it comes to fighting games, you're going to see a lot of new players, a shit ton of new players. It's like, I think the only thing that I agree with some of the people talking about this will be the best era. It's going to be similar to the hype era in the terms you're going to have a lot of new players, but the whole vibe is not going to be the same as the hype era. Because the reason why people got into fighting games during the hype era, because it was hype, because it was cool, because it was exciting. It was a new frontier as far as esports and fighting games. You didn't get into the FGC in the 2010s for the money. You didn't get into it. You got into it for the bragging rights and the clout. You got in it for that reason. It was not about the money, because you were not making good money top 8ing tournaments. It's like you weren't making good money up until like around probably 2015. You weren't making okay money, but you had to travel and go to like 10 to 12 tournaments events, and you had to make sure you top 8'd each one to come out with some money to where it was worthwhile, to make those trips worthwhile. Unless your ass was Sonic Fox, because NetherRealm, they were giving, like, for their little tournaments, they were giving out hundreds of thousands of dollars. Sonic Fox was a millionaire, a borderline millionaire, before he turned like 21. He was making like 100 to 200 grand winning those NetherRealm Mortal Kombat and Injustice tournaments. Yes, he was. He was making... Did I put the hair on her? I'm too busy talking. I don't think I put the hair on her. There we go. Change the hair. Yeah, his little ass, I think he's going on 25. But he already don't have to worry about money for a while. Is talented little bastard. But yeah, like Justin Wong, he gets sponsored, he get paid to travel, he get paid to go to tournaments. Like I said, Justin Wong gonna play till he's like 50 or 60 years old, because that's his whole livelihood. He got his little YouTube channel. You know, he still plays fighting games at a high level. He's still Justin Wong at the end of the day. I think our best, like, American Street Fighter player is probably Punk. And Punk's weirdo. Punk is a weird guy. He come off like a creepy young dude. But damn, he's a really good Street Fighter player. I'll give him that. Really good Street Fighter player. But he always comes up short. He always comes up short when it comes to Evo. I be feeling bad for him. He be top 80, he'll get to like the final 3 or the top 2. Go up against a Japanese player and just crumble. One of these days he's gonna win one though. He's gonna win an Evo. It's gonna happen. He need to do it before he reached 30 though. Because you got all these young cats coming on. You got that teenager from the UK who was beating the shit out of people with Ed during the last days of Street Fighter V. Even though Punk beat the shit out of him. But the rest of the world was like, how do I beat this little fucker? It's like, well, for one, he's using Ed, a character that not many people know, you know, how to fight against, and not a lot of people use at a high level. Okay, I think they're on a hard difficulty. This team, oh yeah, I got my ass waxed by this team earlier. Dang, they're just getting everything. Oh, barely got that. Dang, if only Marie could block, because she's so damn short. Love the swimsuit. Dang, she got a tan. But yeah, you know, other thing I want to say to all those new players thinking they gonna come in and, you know, try to play their way into making money, I wish you guys luck. Because like I said, all the pro players are already months ahead of you guys. Because all those fuckers got gameplay keys for Street Fighter 6 for the beta. I'm telling you, watch these early tournament videos to know what you're going up against. You are going to get washed. You are going to get watched. But one thing I noticed about Street Fighter 6, that characters are now damage sponges. It's like you look at the damage you're putting on these people, but they're just absorbing it. It's like, I think I only seen one video where I seen somebody get like maybe like 45% damage, which is like almost half a life bar. But that's about it. Still pretty good damage, but you gotta work for that shit. Yeah, that's too bad. Even she's starting to get a tan. Too bad she can't block. I would block, but I suck at blocking. See, I told you she's too short. Oh, she got that? Bitch. Ugh. Why you keep going to the net when you know your ass can't block? There we go. 6-5. You gotta work for the matches when it's on hard, man. You gotta earn these wins. Everybody think, oh, it's just a volleyball game with girls with anime titties. This is an actual game. You gotta put some effort. There we go, got the win. Oh, I'm sorry, Momiji. I'm sorry. Had to get that win, girl. But yeah, Evo's going to be interesting this year. I need to go back and watch the Evo 2023 tournaments they had. I think they played King Fighters 15, some Street Fighter 5. They had a shit ton of side tournaments like Capcom vs SNK2 and some other stuff like that. That ought to tell you something else too concerning the fighting games. It's like you have they're going back and playing older fighting games. Oh, Momiji and what's her name broke up? What? After that, wait. Yeah, Momiji left left what's her name? Wow, enjoyed Kasumi. That is crazy. Let's try this team of oh, they're hard too. Fucking honkers in Kokoro. Jesus, honkers. Wait, maybe I was playing Kokoro before. Forgive my old man senses. Oop. Oh. Look, there we go. Yeah. As far as Mortal Kombat with that new trailer, don't really care. I saw it like they're going with like a MK1 reboot. I don't know if that's going to be Mortal Kombat 12 or is it just something. Well, okay, no, maybe it is Mortal Kombat 12, but they're just restarting the whole series since Liu Kang is the new fucking elder god of that universe Mortal Kombat is set in. I can't be botching spikes. We can't be botching spikes against these guys. Can't do it. We're gonna lose. But yeah, I saw that trailer and I was not hyped. Oh my god, we're getting waxed. But you got all these YouTubers, oh my effing god. But then it's like, and then I watched Max, he was not impressed either. I was like, yes, Max. Max is like me, old school fighting game collector, player, historian, and even he wasn't impressed with the trailer. He's like, I want to see some gameplay. I want to see some game combos. And then he was talking about how the models, you know, all kind of look the same as they were before. and stuff like that, and how even the men are even more covered up now. It's like, yeah, NetherRealm got Anita Sarkeesian way back when Mortal Kombat X came out. You know, they had Anita Sarkeesian as advisor, where they're like, okay, you gotta cover up the girls. We don't want to sexualize the females. And then when Mortal Kombat 11 came out, and all the guys were topless and all the girls were fully clothed, so the anti-SJW YouTube was like, oh my god, you got all the male topless, but all the women are fully covered. And so with this new game, they got everybody fully covered. So there's no fan service for both sexes. There's no fan service for anybody. So yeah, fuck NetherRealm. Oh my god, we got waxed. We waxed. No, don't cry, Marie. It's okay. You're just too little. That's all. I still love you. But yeah, saw that trailer. I don't really care. Don't really care. It's like, to me, Mortal Kombat 9, Mortal Kombat 2, 9, and 11 are the best of the traditional Mortal Kombat games. No, actually, I would say 2, Mortal Kombat Armageddon, Mortal Kombat 9, and Mortal Kombat 11 are the best games, in my opinion, for me. They're my choice. I grant it. Some people have other choices. Like if you're a total mark for the gameplay, then most people will pick 10, because in 10 you could do a whole bunch of crazy shit. You could do like 70 to 80% like combos, 70 to 80% damage combos, and it was 50-50s, and everybody can freely push buttons and do combos and comebacks. I did not like the aesthetics and graphics of Mortal Kombat 10 at all. It looked like I play. People love the gameplay of Mortal Kombat 10. Like I said, American players, they love their games flashy and semi-broken. It's been that way since Marvel vs. Capcom 2 gained popularity. American game players, we like our games flashy and semi-broken. The more broken shit we can do in a game, the more popular it will be. That's a fact. And then the whole fun thing about people playing a Marvel's Capcom game is, okay, we need to develop some more broken shit to counter the broken shit. Case in point was this Japanese player came to, I think, a final round or some major tournament. I think around 14, 15, or 16, around that time. They flew all the way here and beat all the top Marvel vs. Capcom 3 players using the team of Phoenix Wright, Rocket Raccoon, and I think it was like Beautiful Joe. And he kept on beating him with the Rocket Raccoon log and some funky ass setups. Just went through like all the American killers. Even like Filipino Champ, he was like the major villain during that era. Everybody wanted to beat Filipino Champ because he was that damn good. I even met the guy. Pretty cool dude. Too bad he got canceled out the FGC. I feel bad for the man. He got canceled 2020. But yeah, so that Japanese player came, he won, and he told him straight up he's gonna take that win and he's never coming back. He never came back to play in another Marvel vs. Capcom 3 tournament. Cause he knew American players are like, if the few things they have on the Japanese FGC is that we beat their asses in Mortal Kombat and the Marvel vs. games. That is our claim to fame. That and DOA. Yeah, DOA, we beat their ass. DOA, Mortal Kombat, Injustice, and Marvel vs. Capcom games. But in terms of like Virtua Fighter, Street Fighter, Tekken, it's like, nah. Korea, Japan, and Pakistan with what's his name? What's that name? Arslan Ash. Just be beating America's players' ass in them games. Oh, that's like one of Ayani's OG swimsuits. That swimsuit design bit was in the first DOA Xtreme game. One of these days I'm gonna have to get like a capture card and actually play like those older Xbox 360 and original Xbox games and stream those games. But yeah, but going back to the first thing I talked about with the 90s being the best era for fighting games, it just was. You know, you still could go to arcades, you could still play them, but what made fighting games the way they are today was not, I'll say in terms of FGC, that community, it's rooted in the arcade, but for people like me who play and collect the games, it's really been about the consoles. It was like, once I got Street Fighter 2, parents hooked me up with that when I was like, what, like 13, 14 years old? Yeah. How old was I? Yeah. Yeah, I was about, around 14 years old. Yeah. On the Super NES. Well, I started playing on arcade first, but then my parents got me a Super NES in the game. And dude, I played the first Street Fighter 2 to death. Played it to death. And after that, I was hooked. I had to play and own every fighting game I saw in video game magazines. You know, I just had to have them. I just had to play them all. You know, I got into Fatal Fury. My cousin had a Sega Genesis, so I started playing Fatal Fury games. I even had Eternal Champions for the Sega Genesis. That game was a pain in the ass to play. It did have some janky mechanics. It had some pretty good. The mechanics were solid, like the one for the Sega CD, but it was a combination of solid and jank, sort of like Mortal Kombat 2. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. Dude, Ayane up here looking like she Latina with her tan. Ayane does not no longer look Japanese. That girl is dark. The darkest girl. Oh my god, these guys are stopping everything. Oh shit. Oh my god, she's just playing defense. Okay, Marie, oh, say bye. Let's block that. Oh, she didn't get all of it though. She is dark. I need to give her some suntan lotion or her ass will get skin cancer. Even more, oh, Kokoro's pretty dark too. But yeah. Granted, on the SNES and those consoles, there weren't too many fighting games. There was only a handful of them. It's like my fighting game awakening didn't come till I got my Sega Saturn and I got a PS1. Then the floodgates were open. Had access to every fighting game, lived in San Jose, California at the time. Had access to Japanese, import shops where I can get all the anime, the manga, and the Japanese video games. Granted, they were costing, I paid so much money. I paid like thousands of dollars for my Sega Saturn, fighting game and video game collection back in the day. I think I held on to half of that stuff. I think I only got maybe a handful of that stuff left. Most of that stuff I sold because it was going for hundreds of dollars. And to get a certain adapter for it. Cause it only can, I don't know, it's like a RF switch adapter I have for it. But I think the prime example to show how many fighting games came out in the 90s is you watch this one YouTube channel called Loading Geek, where he just does arcade runs in fighting games from the 90s up to the early 2000s. Shit ton of fighting games, 2D, 3D, Like, you name it. It was nuts. So it's like, I can't, as a person who's like an old head, like I said, I'm almost 50. I'm 46. I'll be 47 this year. Who's been around fighting games and the FGC in its infancy. You know, I can recall those days very vividly. You know, I still got a hell of a fighting game catalog and collection, and majority of them are from the 90s. I will say the 2000s are kind of catching up, but one of my friends made a good argument. He's like, but dude, you had like 50 versions of Street Fighter 2 alone. I was like, yeah, it seems like it. It's like we have Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter Championship Edition, Street Fighter Hyper Fighting, Turbo, all that other shit. It's like Capcom alone, like in the 90s, probably like produced and published like over 30 fucking fighting games. And SNK was releasing a fighting game every year too. And then you had like knockoff companies who published fighting games under SNK. Like the real cheesy 2D fighting games that people didn't play, like Savage Rain, the Double Dragon games. You had all these weird derivative knockoff 2D fighters, but some of them games had some really crazy, you know, mechanics that Capcom and SNK started putting into their games. I think the funny thing is Capcom is still scared to release like a new Darkstalkers game. But to be honest, Darkstalkers didn't really sell well here in the States. So you can't blame Capcom for not thanks, he's wearing basically lingerie. You know, you can't blame Capcom for not making a new Darkstalkers game because the game sold like shit here in the States. I think they only released like 2 games. I think Darkstalkers and Night Warriors, and that came out on the Sega Saturn. And I think the original Darkstalkers came out on the PS1. And I did a whole thing about King of Fighters and how those games sold like shit here in the States too, up until King of Fighters 14. King of Fighters 14 was probably the only KOF game that sold over 1 million copies ever. What was it? And then I heard what's his name, developer Harada. I think Soul Calibur 6 didn't sell too well. They were kind of disappointed with the sales of that, to the point I don't think Namco's not going to touch that franchise again for another 3 to 4 years. Dang, you just shaking the titties all over the place, Yo Tengu. Yeah, don't expect to see another Soul Calibur game till probably another 2 or 3 years. Because let's see, it took how long for them to they released Soul Calibur 6 in what, I think 2018. Yeah, and then I think Soul Calibur 5 came out. I'm thinking like 2012, 2013, 2014. And people were already expecting a Soul Calibur series to be dead after 5 came out, so people were shocked when they announced Soul Calibur 6. Alrighty. But I don't know what Axis. I know they're going to have another version of Grand Blue Fantasy Versus come out. Hopefully they release that on disc. I'll probably pick that up since it's going to have all the DLC and some extra shit on it. I didn't buy it, even though you can get it for like $20 now. But that's not with the DLC. With all the extra characters, it'll just be the vanilla version of the game for 20 bucks. Ah. Damn you, Kasumi. Ah. Oh yeah, what's another game I'm thinking about getting this year? Street Fighter 6 and I think AEW Fight Forever, which is another wrestling game, is going to be out the end of June. I think June 29th is the release date. And I'm just going to wait to see, you know, other stuff, you know, that they're going to show about the game before I decide to buy it. Because it's either going to be a day one buy or it's going to be a Black Friday. A Black Friday buy. But it's going to depend on the... It's really going to depend on the creation suite options of that game. Because what they said about the, you know, the custom creation is all totally vague. I think we're going to have Creative Arena. But they said custom characters. Custom characters means you can edit the in-game wrestlers. But no, I don't want that. I want to make my own wrestlers from scratch. It's like, if it's not on the level of like 2K, WWE 2K, then it's not going to be a day one buy for me. It's like, already looking at the game, graphically they put a layer of spit shine on it when they showed the game today. I think Havoc and what's his name, freshly squeezed Orange Juice Cassidy, you know, played a couple of matches. The game looks better than it did, I think, months ago. Has a layer of spit shine on it. But I gotta see more of the game before I make a decision if I'm gonna pick that up day one or not. Oh my god, that's a botch. That's what happens when you jump serve. Spike it. Alright, we're back to 1,000,000. Yeah, 90s was the best era as far as fighting games. Early 2000s were decent in my opinion. It's like, granted, if you were a Street Fighter head, it was dead to you. It's like, if Street Fighter wasn't out, then you don't, like, Street Fighter players, they don't care about anything else but Street Fighter. I'm happy that the FCC has moved past it now, because a lot of people who play Street Fighter also play various fighting games outside of Street Fighter, because like I said in my other videos, it's all about content for your YouTube channels. So you got other people playing various and different fighting games now. But it wasn't like that back then. It was like you were a fan of certain games and that was it. You didn't play any other game. And if you did play any other game, you didn't let people know you played any other game. But I think Justin Wong, he kind of changed that perception, because during the height of the hype, you know, during the height of the hype era, he was playing different fighting games. He was playing Soul Calibur. He dabbled in some Dead or Alive. He dabbled in, he even top 8'd King of Fighter tournaments. Hell, he's even still winning King of Fighter 15 tournaments. You know, he played a little Tekken when Tekken 7 came out. Yeah, Justin Wong, he's just a competitor, man. He just plays any and all things that are good and decent. I don't think he really played Mortal Kombat. He dabbled in it, but it's not really his game. Mortal Kombat, you know, NetherRealm games are not his shtick. Oh, she likes to pick the fancy basket? Okay, that's something to remember when it comes to gifting her, so I can get her in naughtier swimsuits. Didn't think she would be into a picnic basket. But yeah, fam, I just wanted to rant about some stuff. As far as future things for the channel, don't know what's going on for the channel. To be perfectly honest, I'm posting random shit. I'm up to 73 subscribers, which is weird because at one point I was losing subscribers and now I gained 3 more subscribers. So thanks for all the 73 people who watch my content. I wish you guys would actually comment and interact. on the channel. It'll be nice instead of just talking to myself most of the time. But it is what it is. As far as plans, I don't know what I really got planned because my time is going to be devoted because it's convention season right now. I'm going to be doing more artwork. Probably not going to be doing too many live streams. I'll be posting some random content. That's why I posted some of those little, highlight reel videos just to keep some kind of content on the channel. I know Maximilian Dude, he's going through his whole Street Fighter Legacy retrospective, before the release of Street Fighter 6. I was thinking about doing one. I might do one. Only problem is I sold my Street Fighter 30th anniversary collection. I sold that game. It was like, why did I need it? It's like, the only good thing about having it is that I can stream it, because it's on the PS4. Some of the games I can play online. But it's like, dude, I have so many versions of Street Fighter, not only like on various other consoles, and then I even have like all versions of Street Fighter on my modified Xbox console. That was like, I didn't really need it. Didn't really need it as part of my collection, other than for content and for streaming purposes. And since, I'm not at that 1,000 fucking subscriber threshold, I'm not monetizing this content any soon. That I don't have even 100 subscribers, so yeah. Me monetizing content is not going to be happening anytime soon. I'm sure some people say, well, if you would be more consistent and do live streams or post content daily, it's like, dude, I would go through a period where I'm posting content 3 or 4 times a week, and most people don't care. I got to be consistent with the content I am doing. Like, I do have people some subscribers just want to watch my Skyrim content. Some people just like watching my DOA Xtreme 3 rant videos. I get a lot of views on those. Some people watch my FGC content. I get quite a few views on those. It's totally random of what people come and view and like on my channel. It's like I notice when I do JRPGs, yeah, people do not like my JRPG content. I love Japanese RPGs, but people do not come to my channel to watch me play Persona or Star Ocean or Dragon Quest and shit like that. Yeah, they tune out. I get less than 10 views on that. Even my Mass Effect content, I don't think I cracked 20 views on any of my Mass Effect when I was playing that. My Dragon Quest Inquisition barely cracked 20 views. So it's like role-playing games, I guess, is not my niche as far as my subscribers, people who view my content for. My wrestling content, it depends, but it averages between 15 to 30, but only when I'm posting information concerning updates, patches, or if I'm doing a call, create a wrestler showcase, then people tune in on that. Sims 4 is actually pretty solid when I look at the view numbers on my Sims 4. Average views for 15 to 20, which is pretty decent, but Sims has a huge audience. You would think a game like The Sims will just be a bunch of old people playing that game. No, there's a lot of youngsters, a lot of young adults who do play The Sims. It's probably the most inclusive, batshit crazy, semi-toxic gaming community. I'm telling you, there's some people in the Sims 4 community that are hella toxic. They are. As far as sports games content, when I was playing NBA 20, my hockey stuff, not many people care about that. So it's tough. I like playing a lot of different games from a lot of different genres, and you are not going to find a lot of success covering different shit on YouTube unless you just have a really good personality and people just like you more so than what you play, because you are the reason they watch the channel. Sadly, I'm not there yet. but that's okay. I mostly stream because it's therapeutic. It gives me a time to vent, to rant, talk about games and things I'm passionate about. But I'm truly thankful for the little tiny following subscribers I do have, for the people who watch regularly. Thank you. I appreciate it. I just wish you guys would comment. Let me know what I can do right, what I'm doing wrong, whether you watching because you like the content, or you just have me on for background noise and just like hearing me talk to myself. You know, I like to interact with you guys once in a while. Granted, I do get some people who come on and interact. I do get some weirdos who come into my little random chats and ask me the weirdest questions on the planet. But it is what it is. I am going to call it a night. So for those of you guys who stopped by, thanks for stopping by. For those of you guys who watch later, thanks for watching. You guys stay safe and God bless.